Hi, my name is Boris, and in today's beginner's tutorial we're going to take a closer look at this track. We'll go through all the elements and deconstruct them so that you have an understanding of how to create basic tracks like this fragment here. Just a quick reminder, if you like what you're seeing in this tutorial, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We're making all kinds of Ableton tutorials for beginners. And if you'd like to learn Ableton Live a little bit more in depth, check out our Ableton Beginners course, which is going to give you all the knowledge you need to start making your own tracks. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so this fragment here is actually part of a template which you can find in the link in the description. But in general, just we have an intro here with some of the higher frequencies of the main pluck, limited here with this auto filter. And then it opens up a bit more. And then we have the drop or the main chorus here. Let's go through all the elements of the chorus and dissect how it's made. First of all, here's the kick drum. It's one of our samples called Deep Premium Volume 1. If you would like to get some samples like this, we also have links to awesome drum sample packs in the description. We're not really doing much processing here, just slight EQing and auto filter. We're mostly just cutting some frequencies at around 300 Hz and boosting the high end to get a snappier kick. And we're also limiting the length of this kick drum by going into one-shot mode and just adjusting this fade out knob here. Okay, so this is the kick track, but actually number one is the sidechain track. If you're new to Live, then maybe this is a new concept. So basically the sidechain track we can set up to activate some of the sidechain compression that is going on all the other tracks if the kick is not present. So for example, here we don't have the kick playing, but still there is a lot of sidechain compression applied to the pluck. So let's listen to the pluck alone. And as you can see here, the sidechain compression is working even though there is no kick. And that's because we have the sidechain track, which also has the kick drum, and that is muted, and that just allows us to choose that signal here from the sidechain compression menu in compressor. Okay, now that we have the kick and sidechain covered, let's take a look at all the other drums. And as for the top drum layers, we have three layers here: the snip, the clap, and the reverse clap. So let's listen to all these three together. And with the kick drum. So a pretty basic pattern. Maybe the reverse clap is a bit more interesting, but other than that, we're just playing claps and snips. So first of all, let's take a look at this snip sample here. So we have quite a bit of reverb applied here on the track itself, and we're also routing this track to the return track with additional reverb. So this snip is really present because of that reverb. Additionally, we have some EQing and we are removing some resonances here. In my opinion, it sounds much crispier with this EQ applied. And we're just reducing the gain with utility, nothing much. The clap is really simple here. We are adding a splash of chorus to make it a bit wider in the stereo spectrum. We're adding some EQ as well. And the EQ actually just cuts most of the mids and lows here from this clap. And this makes it fit much better with all the other top elements, which also don't include a lot of mids and lows. The final element here is utility, which just reduces the volume, just like with the snip. Okay, so let's go on to the reverse clap. And this is actually a loop that we have not processed at all. And this was made with white noise, and it just happens whenever the snip is going to happen. So So in this way we are adding a little bit more variety and not just playing regular claps twice in every bar. Okay, so let's just adjust height by clicking this H button here, and let's go on to the next tracks. So we have 2 bass layers. Let's play them together. And these layers are strictly connected with the plucks that are the next 2 layers. So let's take a look at the sub first. This is all done in analog, by the way. So this is what the sub sounds like. So we are playing a regular sine wave here, which gives us a nice stable low end. And we're adding a square wave, which is actually placed an octave higher, because this sine wave is -2 octaves and the square wave is -1 octave. And of course we're using some low-pass filtering to filter out the high frequencies, because without that it would be pretty unpleasant. Now let's take a look at the high bass. Because analog is not a very complex device and because it doesn't affect your CPU that much, we have decided to actually duplicate this track and add some more mid frequencies with a higher layer of analog. This MIDI is exactly the same, but we are just playing saw waves a bit higher here. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the other tracks here. For the plucks, I've prepared a separate tutorial, which I'm going to link in the video description, where we wrote all these chords here. But as for the sound design, the devices are pretty simple. We just have 2 oscillators in analog here. The most important of which is the square wave you've heard, and then we've got a saw wave 1 octave above. And the second layer of this pluck is a preset from Ableton called Bells and Tiles. We could call this group main synths. So this group is pretty much the core of our track. If we remove it, the track feels quite empty, and these basses and the plucks, they are the thing you listen to when you play this track. They play the exact same rhythm, the sub complements the high bass nicely, and that whole thing fits nicely with this pluck. And at the top we have these bright metallic frequencies that are generated by the electric instrument, which is inside this preset. Alright, so we have 3 more elements, and these are also harmonic elements. We have a piano playing some chords in the background, which gives us a solid foundation for the pluck to play a rhythmic sequence. And as you can see, we are playing a single chord progression but in 2 octaves. So here's, for example, chord 1. And we are also playing some notes at the top. And here we also have quite a lot of reverb applied, as well as sending some to this return track. Then we have this melody bell. And that just plays a background melody, which just adds some high frequencies and gives us the mallet vibe. And this melody is not present. I suppose you maybe didn't hear it when I played the track for the first time. And this is just to sit in the background and give us a little bit more interest if you listen more closely to the track. And then we have the pad, which is really nicely made with analog. Okay, so if we disable the effects here, here's what it sounds like. So as you can see, we are playing a single saw wave here, with unison by the way, so 2 voices. Now we are filtering it in the linear mode with a 24 dB per octave filter, so we are gradually opening up and closing the sound. And then we have the amplifier section, which gives us a slow attack and a slow release. And we are playing the exact same notes as the piano did. So all things together, it sounds like this. So let's play it. Okay, so I hope you found this tutorial useful. If you'd like to explore Ableton more, we are running a music production academy with start to finish courses on making tracks in various genres. as well as the Ableton Beginners course, in which you can learn all the necessary basics of production. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you enjoyed this video, leave us a like and write us a comment, and I will see you in the next tutorials.
Hi, this video is sponsored by us. If you like these tutorials and want to support the channel, check out our website packed with online courses and professional sound packs. If you want to cut years of your learning curve, check the PML Beginner to Advanced Music Production program for Ableton Live. You will know Ableton inside out and learn how to write, produce, mix and master complete tracks. You learn step by step at your own speed, from an empty file to professional production, as if we're sitting side by side in the studio. Thank you for listening.